Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now we have Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess, and we're asking 800-585-1051. If you could ask Vice President Kamala Harris one question, what would it be?
My first question I would ask her is, why did it feel like she just stayed so silent and mute when Biden was the president? What was that like instructed to her? Like, did she feel like she had to because VP is normally a backup situation? But like when I voted for Biden, I voted for Kamala Harris, and I felt like I did that because I was like, all right, he got one of us behind him. So like when he not doing what he's supposed to be doing, or when somebody not saying what needs to be said, or like being loud about what's happening so that the people know what's going on. As a black woman, I just know like we just always step up and do what needs to be done.
But that don't mean that wasn't happening in private, though.
Right, but in private is different because I think it's politics and all that stuff, but like it's brand and it's optics at the same time. The optics of it was like she was silent, she didn't press for certain things. People ask all the time, what did she do, when she was actively doing things? But
even though that's what you want in a vice president, you want your vice president to be quiet.
I feel you, but we were in different times. Like, I think we were in different times, number one, and I think the world is just different now. The way people talk around politics and within politics is different, and just, I don't know, like, I was so excited to see her get in there and just be who she is right now. Like, literally. Right. I kind of, like, in the beginning was like, I don't think she needs to run. Like, I don't think this gonna happen. And now I'm like, yo, we needed her before we needed Biden.
Right. I mean, the one question I would ask is about inflation, right? And the cost of goods and the supply chain has risen so high. I just want to know, how come we are not forecasting what's going on, right? We see everything in the future, right? People plan for years ahead. The feds, adjust interest rates to what they think is going to happen. And with, inflation, the way that is hit and affected people, and people are losing jobs, and people can't afford food, and the prices of food and goods are so expensive. How come we can't forecast that, and what do we do to prevent that?
Right.
Because a lot of people can't eat because they can't afford it. A lot of people have to decide if they're going to eat or pay their rent. A lot of people are going to decide, or are they going to eat or be able to take transportation to get to work? And why can't we forecast that? We send billions and billions and billions of dollars to other nations, billions of dollars to other countries, billions of dollars to other things when we have our own problem. What are we going to do in, a 4-year period it can't all be fixed, but to try to prevent as much as possible that we help people. And this has been a problem since I can remember, since I even started looking at politics, that, inflation and people not eating. But we find all this money to send to all these foreign countries.
Bro,
but
we dropping out the sky when it's something wrong.
Right, but when it comes to helping our own, what's the problem? Charlamagne, what would you ask?
Oh, I'm not telling y'all what I would ask because,
Are you speaking at the DNC?
I'm not speaking at the DNC,
okay.
but you probably, I don't know, maybe we'll get a chance to actually have a conversation with her. I mean, it's not like we haven't interviewed her 2 times already. I've interviewed her 3 times in my life. But I mean, what you just said about inflation, what people don't even realize now, or maybe they do, or maybe they don't, or maybe they don't care, I don't know. Inflation is actually down, but it's a handful of big corporations who control the food industry, and they're keeping prices high because they know that they can.
Right.
So what you see now is you see a lot of these politicians calling them out. You see Democrats and you see Republicans, calling them out. It's just a matter of, who is actually going to make, these corporations, who's actually going to force these corporations to bring down their cost. So I love what we're doing right now because we're going to the phones and we're actually listening to what the people want to ask who could potentially be our future leader.
Right.
Hello, who's this?
It's Jeff from East Orange, New Jersey.
Hey, Jeff from Jersey. Talk to us. If you got a chance to ask Vice President Kamala Harris one question, what would it be?
I want to know if you know what Jamaica's national dish is.
What?
So with everything going on in
I
the world,
want to know if you know what Jamaica's national dish is.
Oh, she knows what Jamaica's national dish is.
Yes.
That's what you would ask the president.
You could ask anything in the world, and you would ask about Jamaican national dish.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, because her Jamaican authenticity is being questioned.
Bro, I know what Jamaica's national dish is.
Is it oxtails?
Ain't no damn oxtails.
Oxtails?
Aki and saltfish.
Aki and
saltfish.
Aki and saltfish.
Aki and saltfish.
Aki and saltfish, yes.
Oh, that sounds good.
Hey, man, get off my phone. You know what I'm saying? This is why we can't. This is why we don't deserve nice things. This is why.
Now we have, who's this? On line 6. What's your name? Hey, what's your name?
My name Nettie.
Hey, Nettie, good morning. If you could ask Vice President Kamala Harris one question, what would it be?
Oh, man. Nah, DJ Envy, I ain't really into politics, so you called me out on that. I was just calling to say what's up, yeah.
Hey, man, we don't got nobody monitoring the phone. Ain't nobody vetting these calls, man. What's going on, y'all?
I mean, as a person that's not into politics, I feel like that's the people she should be speaking
just
to.
calling to say what's
She
up.
gotta
She
be
don't know what's
nice.
going on.
You got to get these people back. These people been asleep. They've
Yeah,
been
but
on
I
the
need
couch.
to know. But I want to talk to people who at least are aware enough to want to
that watch
ask me
CNN.
something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or Fox.
like they don't even know what's going on.
Hello, who's
They
this?
know what they're going through, though.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Courtney from New York.
Courtney from New York. If you had a chance to ask Kamala Harris one question, what would it be?
Well, as an immigration lawyer, the one thing I want to know is what is she going to do to reform our nation's liberal immigration laws? Like right now, the way the law is written, if an alien shows up at the border and say, hey, if I go back home, they're going to kill me or beat me up because I'm light-skinned, the government has to let them into the country to pursue their asylum application. So what is she going to do to reform that law? Right now, the Biden administration has a section 8 CFR 208.33, which basically says you have to call ahead to apply for asylum. And if you don't do it, you're going to be turned away, which is brilliant. So I want to know, what is she going to do to make that regulation law?
Thank you, brother. Now, why we ain't lead with this, brother?
That was a very.
That
I
brother
see what
was
you
on
mean.
hold.
I see what you mean. My
You know
sister
what
that
I'm
was
saying?
cleaning her kitchen. You heard her. She was cleaning her kitchen. We was on speaker. She said, "I just called to say hey."
I'm going to random people on hold. But 800-585-1051. If you could ask Vice President Kamala Harris one question, what would it be? Call us up right now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hello, who's this?
Hello, my name is Tolu. My question is honestly, I just want to make a statement to just please end the genocide in Gaza and give for the two-state solution. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
All right. But thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
So it would be a statement, not a question. That's what you would say to her? It would be a statement?
Oh, yes, please, because I really want to do what I can to end this war before we start World War III. So I really would appreciate if you pass that along, sir.
Okay, so the two best questions we've had so far are the issues, which we know, border security, Palestine and Israel. And I'm sure that people will have questions about the economy. Let's keep going to the phones.
Hello, who's this?
This D Coop, what's going on, man?
B Coop, what's up, brother?
Man, Mutt, I want to ask Miss Harris, why is her so big?
Why's
Or
what?
what?
Where's her neck so big?
Oh,
Have a
God.
blessed day, man. Yo.
We be always saying what does she do for black people and blah blah blah, and then we call up and ask about the neck.
You know, when I hear calls like that, you know what I think? Build the wall, right? Build the wall for people like that.
Quay, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Quay, good morning. Question, what would you ask Kamala Harris? One question you would ask Kamala Harris.
I would ask her, what is she going to do to regulate inflation for middle class, especially being that the president can't tell a business what they can and cannot charge. So that's what I would want to know.
I like
Okay,
that. It's a
thank
good
you.
question. It's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alicia, good morning, Alicia.
Good morning.
We're asking 800-585-1051. If you could ask Vice President Kamala Harris one question, what would it be?
I want to know when she's going to come out and talk to the African American people and not give us no twerking or no live streams with these kids.
You said she's going to do what now?
When is she going to come out and speak to the African American people and not pander to us with a little bit of twerking and live streams?
Well, I think that we got to be realistic here and say that has only happened one time. That happened in Atlanta when Megan Thee Stallion performed. She's done about 7 or 8 rallies since then, and there's been no twerking. It's just been her talking to the people. That happened once.
Yeah, but I don't think that wasn't the right way to approach us.
Listen,
especially for me.
I agree with you. I think they should have just had Megan Thee Stallion come out there and, just give a speech, talk to, women's reproductive rights and, women being in control of their bodies.
I don't think.
But we shouldn't.
I don't think she was needed. I think Kamala was needed. I don't think any of them was needed. Even the cast in that performance was unneeded.
Well, once again, she's given about 7 or 8 of those same. She's had about 7 or 8 of those same rallies since then, and there ain't been no rappers, there ain't been no twerking, hasn't been none of that. It's just been her.
Well, thank you, Mama. Hello, who's this?
Bree.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, if you could ask Vice President Kamala Harris one question, what would it be?
I would ask her what plans or procedures does she propose to put in place to protect union workers in the future since, Project 2025 is, and, basically the Republican Party is trying to attack union workers. How would she protect them in the future?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
All right. Well, thank you, Mama.
No problem.
And please also remember that Donald Trump gutted federal employee unions, too. Just want to throw that out there.
Hello, who's this? Hello?
Clark?
Hey, what's your name?
Yeah, my name Clark. My fault. I couldn't even hear you.
Clark, what's up, brother? If you could ask Vice President Kamala Harris one question, what would that one question be, bro?
One question would be, it's a two-part question, actually. But seeing that Trump did pull all those antics back on January 6th, what will her and Biden's plan to be with the county certifying officials to make sure that we don't get another January 6th happening this time? The second part
there you go.
Question is, Charlamagne, can I get a book?
Yes, I got you on the book, and I think that is a fantastic question to ask because what I keep telling people over and over is that when November comes around, and let's just say the vice president does win, Donald Trump's cronies all across the country are probably going to refuse to certify the results of an election. He's going to challenge the results of the election. It's going to go to his Supreme Court. And in light of all the recent rulings that the Supreme Court has done, I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to try to overturn the results of this election. So I think that is a fantastic question to ask.
All right. Well, 800-585-1051. What is the moral of the story?
There's no moral of the story. Those are great questions. We need to crowdsource those. There was about 6 or 7 great questions.
Right.
That I'm sure that after the convention and Kamala Harris, the vice president, starts doing interviews, she will be asked those things.
What's going to be the first platform you think she hits?
It's a good question. I don't know. I really don't. She put something out on her YouTube yesterday, though, with her and Tim Walz. They were having a conversation, but I haven't seen that really pick up any traction.
She can't do that.
Yeah.
It can't be her and no person to push back.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know who her first hit will be.
All right. Well, we got Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa coming up. What are we talking about?
Yes, we do. We are going to get into Matthew Perry. There were people arrested following his death.
All right. We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.